I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, being that, me, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time. And
now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford.
In a recent interview, Terence Crawford spoke with assurance about Floyd Mayweather and his own place in the sport. He remarked that Mayweather's era has already concluded, making it clear that the spotlight belongs to him now. Crawford stressed that the previous chapter of Mayweather's dominance is over, and attention should shift toward him as boxing's current leading figure. With confidence, he presented himself as the athlete pushing the sport ahead in today's generation.
Podcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that.
Floyd Mayweather reminded the public that he had already outclassed Canelo Alvarez when he was older than him. Showcasing both his talent and ring wisdom, he suggested that Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo should not be treated as an extraordinary feat, since each of their defining wins came against the same rival. In Mayweather's view, this underscores that his own performance stands as the superior accomplishment, and Crawford's success does not elevate him beyond Mayweather's legacy.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say, well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
Some commentators claim that Terence Crawford should not yet be placed alongside Floyd Mayweather, pointing out that he has not matched Floyd's perfect 15-0 record. In their view, surpassing Mayweather requires more than simply defeating elite names like Canelo Alvarez. A frequently mentioned idea is that Crawford ought to rise in weight and challenge David Benavidez, a dangerous and physically dominant contender. Securing a win over Benavidez would highlight Crawford's courage, while proving he can overcome one of the toughest tests in the sport today. Without such a result, many experts argue Crawford will struggle to be regarded on Mayweather's level. regardless of his current achievements.
You look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because he's undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people were scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Duran from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5.
Trainer Robert Garcia views the matter differently. He suggests that Terence Crawford is unlikely to jeopardize his legacy by stepping in against David Benavidez. In Garcia's opinion, Crawford is a smart boxer who understands how to secure his place in history without exposing himself to unnecessary danger. Benavidez carries a significant size advantage and presents a real threat that could put Crawford's undefeated run at risk. From Garcia's perspective, the danger outweighs the potential payoff, since Crawford already holds an outstanding record and has little need to test himself outside of his natural division. This viewpoint underscores the ongoing debate between taking legacy-defining risks and protecting a nearly...
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, offered his perspective that although Terence Crawford decisively outperformed Canelo Alvarez, the result should not be taken as the ultimate benchmark. He observed that Canelo was no longer the same fighter, noting his punches lacked the sharpness and impact they once carried. Jeff pointed out that even before this matchup, Crawford faced doubt and criticism regarding the quality of his opposition. And despite defeating Canelo, some observers continue to minimize the accomplishment. In Jeff's view, the win was noteworthy, but must be placed in proper context. Since Canelo was not at his absolute peak, the victory does not automatically push Crawford above all criticism.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power. And obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. I mean, and he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, like he's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work. And basically, and it seemed like he just did that, and he would let his...
Legendary boxer Roy Jones Jr. shared a critical view of Floyd Mayweather's career. He argued that aside from the bout with Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather did not regularly face the very best opponents of his generation when they were at their peak. Jones questioned why Mayweather is so often labeled the greatest, pointing out that much of his record was built against fighters who were smaller, older, or past their prime. He suggested that the legend status given to Mayweather is somewhat overstated compared to what he truly achieved. For Jones, although Floyd's unbeaten record is remarkable, the level of opposition and the timing of his biggest fights leave room for debate, particularly when measuring him against adaptable champions like Terence Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather, top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. Yeah. He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought him. Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further,
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was
Manny
not on his
Pacquiao,
level.
Manny
Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I
All
agree.
right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best two names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who
because
would.
I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney.
A different analyst drew attention to the contrast between fame and pure boxing skill. He acknowledged that Floyd Mayweather's worldwide following is unmatched, built on his perfect record and blockbuster pay-per-view success. Yet when judging ability alone, he suggested Terence Crawford may have the edge. Crawford's natural southpaw foundation, combined with his rare gift of switching stances fluidly during a fight, enables him to adjust to any opponent. This flexibility and technical range have led many to claim that Crawford's skill set could even exceed Mayweather's. The discussion ties into a larger debate within the sport. Should greatness be defined by global recognition and financial impact, or by raw talent and adaptability inside the ring?
Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all.
Former world champion Shane Mosley shared a clear-cut comparison between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He stressed that Crawford's natural size provides an advantage that Mayweather never possessed. As a naturally larger fighter, Crawford is able to move through multiple weight classes while still carrying his power and strength. Mosley pointed out that while Floyd excelled with defense and precise timing, Crawford's physical tools allow him to dominate in ways Mayweather could not. In Mosley's view, this makes head-to-head comparisons unfair. Since Crawford's frame and natural build give him options Floyd simply never had.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's
definitely take that shit. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Jeff Mayweather also reminded fans that when Floyd met Canelo Alvarez, he was already past his prime. Even though he was older, slower, and not as sharp as in his younger years, Floyd relied on experience, defense, and ring intelligence to completely outclass Canelo. This perspective underlines the contrast between Floyd's win over Canelo and Crawford's, as Jeff explained. While Crawford's victory came against a more seasoned version of Canelo, Floyd achieved his when no longer at his peak, which, in Jeff's eyes, makes the accomplishment even more significant. For Jeff, this context shows that Floyd's greatness remains unmatched, regardless of how many more wins Crawford adds to his record.
Well, also, if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had that.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20 something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost. But man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people.
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something.
Crawford has spoken openly about being compared to Floyd Mayweather. He recognizes all that Floyd accomplished and admits his legacy is firmly established. Still, Crawford stresses that Mayweather represented his own time, and every era eventually comes to an end. He explained that greatness isn't permanent. A new generation always rises to claim the spotlight, and he positions himself as the fighter carrying that role today. While showing respect for Mayweather's achievements, Crawford confidently presents himself as the leading figure in modern boxing.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your ass?
Okay, that's a no.
Because you got to remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Right. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit gotta make sense. Like you said, you beat a shark and then you beat a wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, it is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, to me it don't make sense. But that's
really
what
a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend.
Sure, man.
But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying? The line of suits get your money, man. Go ahead and get the easy money. You ain't gotta sweat no more.
What's up, boy?
Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat.
What's happening?
He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just whatever, doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's cause when a guy see himself up here and then he's fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he be like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you. You don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get. I seen it happen.